Where am I? Where's Reznov?
You will answer our questions. What's your name?
Fuck you!
Where were you born?
Kiss my ass! Ah! Don't know what you're talking about.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? What about
Screw the numbers, who cares? Oh wait, everyone does. The numbers, the answers are always in the numbers. In that case, let's take a deep delve into backwards compatibility of numbers. I mean, of Black Ops. And stop fucking electrocuting me. Jeez, it's like a video game. And if that's the case, let's get some frame rate analysis on.
I believe you two have already met. We're lucky to have you back, Mason.
Black Ops has returned, Nuketown included, thanks to backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. COD hasn't seen this much action since a Friday night at the chip shop. So what does it run like and how does it fare? Well, actually, this has been a long time coming. This was actually promised way back in 2015 at the tail end of the year with a few other games, but it never got delivered ahead of the new COD game and obviously the one that everyone's looking forward to, the Modern Warfare remake. Hands up who's going to buy this game just to play that. Bit of a crappy move, but there you go. Unfortunately, we haven't got that just yet, but what we have got is the next best thing. Some BLOPS original action. This game targeted 60 frames per second on all previous versions, and that's what we get here. But did it hold a locked 60 on the 360, and does it hold anywhere near that level on the Xbox One? Well, in terms of single player, that was tended to be the most stressful version. Aside lag, this multiplayer was obviously a much higher performing game overall. So we'll jump straight into the single player to start off with, and on the Xbox 360 we can see that actually it didn't really hold 60 frames per second that often at all. You can see in points right at the beginning of the game here that the frame rate drops down to the mid 40s and low 40s. So the Xbox One has some work to do to try and improve on that, but can it do it? Well, first impressions are very good. You can see here that instantly like by like, side by side, it does still dip, but it's actually performing much better than the 360 version. And within a few minutes of action we can already see the average is dropping down from 58 to nearly 56.5 on the 360, and this only continues the further into the game as you play. This means that overall we're looking at a much better version of backwards compatibility here than we have seen on previous releases. So this is a good sign, and obviously a sign of things to come. On saving and loading points it can dip an extra frame with the CPU overhead, but this is incredibly minor and rare. The game had a fair amount of physics in action, from explosions and obviously blowing off limbs in animation and stuff with heads and arms. So all of this can affect the actual performance slightly more on the Xbox One when it's using the CPU, but it's very minor and well within level of tolerance. This is obviously not of a huge shock due to the fact this game is heavily GPU bound, and with the Xbox One's additional resource here, it doesn't struggle anywhere near as much on the 360. There are a few occasions, which you'll see in a moment at the top of the stairs, where it does dip slightly more on the Xbox One than the 360. No obvious reason for this, it doesn't really look a CPU issue. These are again minor like the dips you see elsewhere, but overall it's a much better performing game. Now with multiple discs supported and possibly PC, like I've said before, incoming, I'm sure this is going to go on to bigger and better things. So when they merge the stores very soon this year, I think we'll see more titles hitting the Xbox One, and obviously whatever announcements they bring out at E3. So in terms of single player, as you can see on screen, it's a very smooth and solid performance, and overall, where you can get like for like examples here from this 5 to 6 minute run that I've done on both versions, it is much better on the Xbox One. There is a couple of points with checkpoint loading and saving. It does dip slightly more on the Xbox One than it does on 360, but this is incredibly minor, and even then it's very fleeting, and overall it's still a better performing with these dips on the Xbox One than the 360. But aside those dips, overall in gameplay, it's actually much nearer the 60 target that it aimed for. But multiplayer, where is everyone's going to spend all their time, and Nuketown is probably the place everyone's going to visit first on the map. And in terms of performance, the Xbox 360 held a much better account of itself, with its 16 milliseconds hit far more often and achieving the 60 rate much better, and the Xbox One does exactly the same. So both versions do a better job of holding 60 FPS, but they're both not unlocked 60. But they're both not a million miles away, but as in single player you're looking at a better experience on the Xbox One. You don't get any improvements to visuals, but you do get improvements to frame rates and performance overall, and with a game that runs as a carbon copy from its original on new hardware, it's a great feature. And these improvements continue in all other modes that we'll get to shortly. So moving on to the Xbox One version, it again runs identical to the 360 in visuals and quality, but we are seeing an improvement in the actual frame rate overall across all maps tested. This means by and large, aside lag obviously, we're looking at the same or better performance on the Xbox One than 360, and no need to wheel out your old hardware to reminisce on these old games and maps. And it really is a barrel of fun coming back into Black Ops and playing these maps. Surprising how quick you remember where they work, although I was a little rusty after only 4 games to get this video together, but I will improve further still, as I'm sure the old magic's still there. Split screen 60 FPS zombie mode returns and is as fun as ever, along with online player and single player, with no real issues, again running the same or better than it did on the 360. It really is a very solid performance, and again completely tear free, although so was the original 360 release. And it also includes the retro arcade Ikari Warriors type shooter. Again, it's a lot of fun and it holds on to its 60 rate pretty well, but everyone knows that most people are going to spend their nostalgic time in Nuketown and in other multiplayer sections of the game rather than single player and these additions, although they are fun. It is great to return to an old classic like this and enjoy the performance level improvements for free using the same disc, and you can't really ask more for backwards compatibility than that. So I will spend some more time enjoying my return to Black Ops, and it just goes to show that you don't need fancy graphics to enjoy yourself most of the time. Treyarch's engines were almost the most forward pushing in technology, and at some points underground and in the lighting system it still looks reasonably good, but that doesn't happen throughout the entire game, with it already starting to show its age, in some areas more than others. Anyway, you guys and girls take care. If you like this or anything else I've put together, then please think about subscribing to support me. And if you didn't like this, please hit the thumbs down and tell me what you didn't like. Leave all your thoughts and feedback below. You guys and girls take care, and I'll see you very soon in Nuketown.
Spy plane standing by. Our spy plane's in the air. Lost the lead.
Target neutralized.
Enemy napalm strike inbound.
This ain't good. There's too many of them. Carlos's men should be here. The rebels are getting their asses kicked.
Better get down there. Hook up. Go!
Boys, it's all falling apart. You need to get out of here.
You secure our transport?
The plane is ready, so we'll be torn to pieces on takeoff.
One problem at a time, brother. We're leaving! Move it!
We can't wait any longer.
Give us cover, Mason! Take out those APUs!
Shit! Taking damage! What? We got a problem! Those fucking vehicles are blocking the runway!
I hear you, Bowman.
There's not enough time for takeoff!
I'll deal with it.
Mason! We're trying to just you up out there! Mason, what are you doing? Mason!
Runway's clear.
Damn you, Mason!
No choice, Woods. I knew what I signed up for. Got me fine. Let's go. Get out of here.
I already gave you the numbers. What do you want now?
He will know suffering beyond his darkest fears. I have plans for you, American.
Oh, bugger.